Hey guys, welcome back. Ethan and Brandon here again to discuss more free agents. Today we're going to talk about one of the top free agent starters on the market this winter, and that is Max Fried.
It's really interesting to see that he's a free agent now, considering he's been with Atlanta since 2017. And I'm interesting to see, where the wind takes him. I'm using that phrase a lot, where the wind takes these free agents. But Brandon, where do you think the wind will take Max Fried?
Yeah, I mean, he was a first round pick back in 2012. I think of the Padres, if memory serves, and then got traded to the Braves, and he's obviously been there since. He's been just a really consistent lefty arm for them. He's had ace caliber seasons. He's had a number of years with an ERA below 3. I don't think he's ever had a season with an ERA above 4. Or if he has, it's been very close. His big thing is durability. He's had a number of injuries. In the seasons where he's been healthy, like 2024, he threw 175 innings this year. He's just had a number of seasons where he hasn't even got to 100 innings because of injury, and so that's sort of the risk with him. That if he's healthy, even though he'll start his next contract when he's 31 years old. That if he's healthy, he's going to give you an all-star season. He's won a number of gold gloves. He's a great fielding pitcher. He's been a I think 2 or 3 time All-Star. He doesn't strike out a ton of guys, but he also doesn't walk a ton of guys. He just produces a lot of weak contact. And so he's just a really just he's a guy that when he goes out in the mound, you're confident that you're going to get a good start out of him. Like you may not get a 9 inning shutout every time, although he has pitched a number of shutouts in his career. But you're going to get just a quality start. You're going to get a lot of length out of him, and he's going to keep runs off the board, and that's a valuable thing.
I mean, I have to agree with you here because I think so many fans just focus on pitchers, especially starting pitchers, that just want strikeout after strikeout or strikeout. But that's not what it's all about in baseball, in my opinion. I think weak contact is better than nothing because weak contact equals ground balls equals outs, or double plays, which
Yeah.
beautiful in my opinion. But I'm gonna pass it over to you here. So Max Fried, a free agent. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I think he like you just said real quickly, he gets ground ball. His ground ball rate in 2024 was 58%. I mean, that's high for especially for a starting pitcher. His fly ball percentage was below 20% again, for like the sixth time in 7 or 8 years. It's just again, it's a guy that is going to get outs, which for even if he's not the ace that's going to strike out 15 guys every 9 innings, he's going to get outs. And so that's a good transition point to the Cubs. And so the Cubs obviously have two lefty starters atop their rotation, who are Justin Steele and Shota Imanaga. They both had really solid, if not exceptional, 2024 seasons. Steele sort of reestablished himself, not reestablished himself, but sort of backed up the idea that he is, an ace caliber, at least number 2 caliber starter. Shota Imanaga was brilliant in his rookie season in the major leagues, and so the need is just simply for the Cubs. They have, the middle of the rotation guys. They have a ton of depth in the minor leagues with Cade Horton and Ben Brown and Jordan Wicks. The need is just the top of the rotation. They just need that ace, and so assuming they don't, go all out for a guy like Corbin Burns on the free agent market, Max Fried makes a lot of sense. It may be a little odd because he's also a lefty starter, and having, him and Steele and Imanaga and Wicks all in the same rotation could get a little janky. But you just want to sign the best pitchers you can. And Max Fried is one of the best pitchers in baseball. And so again, especially for a team that has the elite defense that the Cubs do. I mean, you think Nico Horner's a Gold Glover, Dansby Swanson's a Gold Glover, Pete Armstrong's going to be like a 15-time Gold Glover in his career. Cody Bellinger's been a Gold Glover. They have an elite defense. Having a guy like Max Fried who gets a lot of weak contact, that's a marriage made in heaven.
I'm going to play devil's advocate as I always do, but as many fans of the Cubs know, we had a really high injury rate in 2024.
Yes.
And as great as, I'm going to knock on wood here, Shota Imanaga did not have a single injury in 2024, but Justin Steele had a few. And so I think there needs to be, Ben Brown did great in, his kind of backup here, but to have somebody like Max Fried take over, if God forbid, and it might happen because it happens every year. Somebody like Shota or Justin, take the fall again. I would love to have somebody like Max Fried take over. Again, I know he's another lefty pitcher, but like you're saying, to have an ace in the hole like him take over for the Cubs, to me it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I will just sort of take that injury thing one step further and say, yes, Max Fried has dealt with a number of serious injuries in his career, which is a legitimate concern for Cubs rotation that had a lot of serious injuries in 2024 and has had a lot of serious injuries beforehand.
The hospital bill for the Cubs was exponential in 2024. That's the
Yeah,
moral of the story.
it was larger than the actual payroll for the team. But yeah, I think that that's a legit concern. He proved to be healthy in 2024. He's had a number of seasons where he's pitched more than 160 innings. Three of the last four seasons, he's cleared that mark. So I would say that again, he feels like a safe, valuable option to have atop the rotation. He's going to cost more than $100 million. That's just the nature of doing business with top, free agent pitchers nowadays. But for a Cubs team that has payroll space to spend and has an obvious need atop the rotation, I don't see a reason why they don't do it.